Hey all. So last year I became a dad. And I think a lot of people, when they become a dad, if you have a little bit of a musical ambition, some people just pack it up. They phone it in, they say no more, they sell all their gear, and they get into that. Maybe if I get a second one, I might reduce the pack a little bit um, of gear and shit, but that's not what's important. The thing is that I still, despite having a lot less time and a lot more places for my energy to go, I still have some kind of ambition of writing and releasing music. And I have ambition that this is going to be some good stuff. And good things take time, good things take energy. And the truth is that I wish I had done it earlier in my life. And once you start not having time, there are also things that happen with your priorities that are good. You're more constrained. I've made significantly less gear videos, and the truth is I don't really care that much about. Well, I don't. I care about gear. That makes me sound like Opeth because I'm a sucker for their sounds. I'm a sucker for their studio records, but I don't care much about making videos about the gear that they used and me getting 80% of the way to a tone. As much. I still want to do it, but I don't have much time. And therefore, I think about what's my main objective with all of this. Well, my main objective is to have great musical experiences. My main objective is to write music, and I don't have a lot of time. And I have found a new way to somehow have an output, and that's what this video is about. So here's the problem. The problem is I sit down and I write a cool riff, and the riff sounds great, and I love it, and I have a great feeling about it. And then maybe I write another one and they fit together, or a little sectional melody. But eventually I want more. I want more to come after those things. And given that I want to write progressive rock, I want to write really good progressive rock, progressive metal, there's not necessarily a song structure that you can stick to say, oh, this, like if it was a pop song, say this is your A piece, this is your B piece, this is your bridge, and so on. And therefore it's really easy when you write progressive music to get stuck and simply sit there and hit record, and then your DAW comes to the end where you are, and there's nothing in your head that makes you feel like you got inspiration for where to go. And if you're just sitting there and then just kind of trying to write a riff or trying to write a section, then you can just really burn yourself out trying to come up with things on the spot and never have it recorded. And you just burn yourself out a little bit. And I've done that a lot. I've spent many days and nights, and I have many songs that are unfinished, or parts of songs, or just single riffs that really need more partners, sections, ideas that never came to them. And that's kind of sad when you want to release music and you want to get something done. So I've come up with this exercise, and I find that it really helps me. And it's very easy to explain. You grab your guitar and you set up a drum loop that you like. I like something in 6/8 because that works for me. I like to think in 6/8. And you set up this drum loop, and you make it very long in your DAW. You give yourself 10 minutes of this drum loop. And you sit down and you record a riff. And the rule is that it has to be the first thing you can write. And actually, another rule is that the riff must, or it can be, really, really shitty. So you grab your guitar and you record the simplest thing that comes to your mind. Could be just an A chord and an E chord, and whatever. And you can record it. And you say, great, cool, this is recorded. Then you double track it. Cool. Make sure it sounds okay, but it does not have to be tight. Cool. Now you recorded a riff. Good. And then you sit down and you record the next hyper simple, super stupid thing that comes to your mind. You double track it and you move on. And you keep doing this. The rules are that you just have to record whatever comes to your mind. It can be cliche. It can be shitty. It can be sloppily played. But you have to record what comes to your mind. You have to double track it. And once it's recorded, you start over with something else. You don't even have to call it an idea. You don't say like, "Oh, I have a new idea." It doesn't like it maybe even if to you calling it an idea would be a insult to the very notion of what an idea means to you. Record it anyway. And after like an hour or so, you're gonna have 10 little snippets of music. And usually what happens when you do this is that you get warm and maybe something interesting happens. And maybe you can take some of these sections and use them in your music as time goes on. Because one of the things about music is also that not everything has to be the best. It's also about which context that it exists in. So the next time that you have a great idea, and you have two great ideas that fit together, you now have a whole catalog of riffs that you can try out for size. Things that you can put in and say, hey, this riff kind of works in this context. The shitty riff that I wrote, or this riff that I actually kind of like, works in this context. Okay, great. Now I can progress with my songwriting. And that is what it's all about. And I love this exercise because it unsticks your mind. It goes past the point where your inner critic doesn't like what you're doing because it doesn't matter. And the truth is that when you're creating something, we're our worst enemy. Like creatives, we are our worst enemy. We can be insecure about what we're doing. We can have high ambitions. I know it all too well myself. Bypass that shit. Do this exercise once a week or every day. Or try it once and see what happens. And you're gonna find that it's good for you. You're never. It's like going to the gym. You're never gonna regret it, or yoga class. You're never gonna regret it unless you like hate yoga. But like whatever, that's up to you. But yeah, you're never gonna regret it. And I'm gonna stop here, and I'm just gonna challenge you. Do what I say. Sit down, record a shitty riff, then record another one, and see where it goes. I'm gonna leave it here. Please share your writing tips and like this video. Let me know if this resonated with you. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna listen to the last time I did this exercise. And you're gonna hear the shittiest riff I could come up with was just like one note, and it's gonna be untight as fuck because I was not warm. I didn't have time to get warm. I don't have time to get warm these days. And then it's gonna progress. I've kept the drum loop the same, but I've sort of done the riffs to the honor of adding bass on top, and half of it has some keys. And I'm gonna admit that I probably spent more time trying to mix it for this video, which is pointless. Utterly pointless. I spent more time trying to mix it than I did actually recording the riffs. Yeah, I spent more time adding bass and keys than I did recording the riffs, and I spent more time mixing it. But yeah, I should probably have more rules for that too. So yeah, anyway, I'm out. Here we go. Start at the beginning, and if it sucks, jump to the middle and see if it's better. Yeah. Let me know how it goes and share your own videos. Take care. Could be worse, really. Could be worse. Yeah, and let's just do it again 100 times, I guess. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you made it this far, thank you extra much. Take care.